My piano's very out of tune. So today, I'm going to learn how to tune it. After doing some research, I found that the only two things I need are a key tuner and a tuning application. The first thing I had to do was clear the piano from anything sitting on it. Then I have to open the top, undoing a latch on both sides, pulling off the front, and removing the key cover. This leaves us with full access to the pin block. All the strings are attached to each of these pins. What I have to do is place the tuning hammer onto a pin, and depending which way I turn it, it will make the pitch sound higher or lower. And using the tuning application, I try to match each of the notes to the correct pitch. There are three sections to tuning this: the notes with single strings, the notes with two strings, and the notes that have three strings. I decided that I was going to tune all of the single strings, then the two strings, and lastly the three strings, before then doing an overall double check and making sure everything was perfectly tuned. So I downloaded a tuning app and got to work, tuning each string one at a time until it was as close to perfect as I could get. Now this was easy with the single strings. However, when we get to the two strings, you have to tune each string individually. So you've got to begin to separate the notes. Alright, once they're separate, we can try to begin to match the second one to the first one. For the note to be in tune, this number should be as close to 0 cents as possible. And we're bang on 0 cents. So it's taken me about 15 minutes to tune the first 31 notes. Alright, now the reason I only did the first 31, because as you already know, everything afterwards has 3 strings, so it's a little harder to tune. I took a break to see how it sounds, but the world had other plans. Moving on. Now that I've to tune 3 strings, it's going to be a little bit harder because you can only tune one string at a time and there's 3 different notes sounding. So I tune the first string as best as I can, and then I try to match the next 2 strings to the same pitch, which does take some trial and error to get right. But eventually it was becoming second nature and I was getting the notes right first time, which is pretty impressive. So after 1 hour we've made it from here all the way up to here. Now that we've only got a few more left, it's home straight. Let's go, let's finish this. So that's what I did. I continued to tune the rest of the piano, and after 1.5 hours, the piano was fully tuned. Then lastly, I need pliers, because accidentally throughout that, I broke a string. So it needs removed. Now technically it would need swapped, however, maybe that'll be another video. Now that the piano is fully tuned, let's put it back together and compare what it sounded like before versus after tuning. I'm sure you can hear the difference. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.